Hello children, a big loving welcome to our very own channel, Ammu and You, where I, Ammu, am ready with another lovely story to narrate to you. This is a very sweet story about a very good and kind-hearted man named Adil. And the name of the story is Adil Ali's Shoes. Adil Ali ran a small shop in a little market in a village and lived in a small room above the shop. Everyone liked him because he was a very kind person with a very good heart. But there was one problem. Adil's shoes. They were old and worn from many places. And they were not very nice to look at, but Adil loved them. All the same, they're so comfortable, he would say, and they have been with me for years. But everyone else felt differently. How can anyone wear such old, worn-out, scuffy-looking shoes? They wondered. Someone needs to throw them away, said Sadiya, the samosa seller. She sold hot, lovely, crisp samosas. So Sadiya, the samosa seller, said, how can anyone wear such dirty shoes? Someone needs to bury these shoes, said Priya, the pakora seller. His shoes always fended for themselves wherever he went. No one wanted to keep their shoes next to his. Wherever he went, his shoes were very well isolated from the others. The festival of Eid was approaching. Adil's friends decided to buy him a very special gift. So on the day of Eid, they presented him with a pair of shiny brown shoes. Adil's eyes filled with tears. He did not want to part with his old worn-out shoes. He loved them so very much. Ah, Adil is crying. He is so happy, said Sadiya. Adil wiped away his tears and thanked his friends. His friends had the special food offered to them and left after wishing him a very happy Eid Mubarak. Adil tried on his new shoes. They did look very nice. He turned his feet this way and that way, admiring them. Then he sighed. He had a problem. If I wear my old shoes, my friends will be very upset. What should he do? And if he had his old shoes, how could he wear these new shoes? Wouldn't his old shoes feel so very sad and left out? Adil Ali thought and thought and thought. Ah, he cried, I know. Adil picked up his old pair of shoes, hugged them tightly and said, thank you for taking me on my journey near and far. I will miss you. You have really been with me for so long, but I'm sorry. I have to part with you. The parting is inevitable, he said. He took a deep breath and he went near the window of his room. The window faced a river. The river flew down, and walking over to the window with all his might, he flung them out into the river. Below, Adil sighed and waved his favorite pair of shoes goodbye as they flowed along with the river. After a moment, he looked down at his feet and said, Now I will have to wear my new shoes. The next day, when Joseph, the fisherman, pulled his net out of the river water, he was very angry. For along with the fish were the old worn-out dangling pair of dirty shoes in the net. Adil's shoes. Oh my God! What are they doing here? Joseph muttered. He went all the way to Adil's house and threw them away on the floor. Adil Ali, don't throw your shoes into the river, he shouted. They are ruining my fishing net. Adil was surprised. My shoes? They have come back to me? He went to the other window of his room that faced the market and placed them on the ledge to dry his favorite pair of shoes that were all dripping wet now. Suddenly, his cat jumped out onto the window ledge. Down fell his shoes, down, 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 and smack! They hit Sadiya, the samosa seller, on her head and made her drop her samosas that she was carrying in a basket. Aye! She screamed. Sadiya looked around to see what had hit her, and she was shocked to find Adil's old worn-out tatty pair of shoes. Oh my God! These are Adil's shoes, and throwing shoes at an old woman from the window, she shouted and threw them back into Adil's open window. Sorry, Sadiya, it happened by mistake, said Adil. I really apologize. I mean it. I did not mean to throw it on you. But Sadiya was not ready to hear. She was so angry at Adil. Oh my God. And what was Adil Ali thinking? Oh, my dear shoes, they love me as much as I do. They keep coming back to me. What should I do? Adil kept thinking. He slept off at night, but the thought of his shoes kept going round and round in his head, circling and round and round, till he jumped up. Woo! I have a plan. And he had a wonderful idea. Next morning, he woke up early. He went out and climbed up a steep hill. When he reached the top of the hill, with all his might, he threw his shoes as far as he could. And satisfied, he said, I will now never see my shoes again. I have thrown them so far away. And with that, he walked back home. It just so happened that that moment that Adil threw his shoes, Shahid, the sugarcane seller, was riding to the market, and the shoes fell at the back of his cart, right on top of Shahid's head. He was taking the sugarcane to the market. He was horrified to find Adil's dirty, old, worn-out shoes there, plopped on his sugarcane. He immediately drove to Adil's house. Adil Ali, keep your dirty old shoes off my sugarcane cart, shouted Shahid, and threw the shoes in front of Adil. Adil looked down on the ground. Oh my God, my shoes? You have come back to me again? He said. He scratched his head and wondered, how can I ever get rid of my shoes? I am trying everything possible, but they keep coming back to me again and again. He thought and thought and thought and thought. Ah, he cried. Now I know, said Adil Ali. He waited for the morning, and next morning at the break of the dawn, he ran through the empty market and climbed up a big mulberry tree that was there and put his dirty old pair of shoes into the cluster of the branches. Now, dear shoes, you can stay here forever, he said. No one will ever bother you, said our Adil Ali as he climbed down the mulberry tree and went back home. Now, in the morning, it was a usual marketplace. The bazaar was getting busy. Sadiya was selling her spicy, crispy samosas. Joseph was there with his masala fish. Pintu was making his soft rotis that everyone loved to eat. Shahid was selling his fresh sugarcane juice. Karim was taking cobs of corn outside the basket. Priya was shouting, come, come, buy my tasty pakoras. The marketplace was very busy. Suddenly, a strong wind began to blow. The wind blew and blew, and it got stronger and stronger. And it blew so hard that it threw Adil's shoes out of the mulberry tree and onto Karam's donkey back. Patak! It came and fell on the back of the donkey. Oh my God! Brayed the donkey. He got so scared, picking up his legs. He jumped in fright. Corn from his back flew everywhere, landing up on Sadiya's hot samosas, on Priya's pakoras, and Shahid's sugarcane juice. Instead of samosas, in the hot oil were corns bubbling and spluttering. Everyone was furious seeing the old, fatty, worn-out, tatty shoes again. Oh no, shouted everyone. Adil's shoes, Adil's shoes, Adil's shoes. They looked at each other. This has to stop. And all of them marched towards Adil's house. Here are your shoes, Adil Ali, shouted the group. You should keep them on your feet. Adil now smiled to its heart's content. That's just where they belong. He put away his new shoes, neatly packed in the box, and put on his worn-out shoes again. And no one ever made fun of Adil's old shoes. So Adil loved his shoes so very much that they never ever left him. And the shoes loved Adil Ali too. Everyone now had accepted Adil's tatty, old, worn-out shoes. And who was the happiest? Adil Ali, of course. Isn't it a lovely story, children? What a cute Adil Ali and his love for his old shoes. Children, if you've liked the story, can like, share, subscribe, press the bell icon, write comments, how you liked the story, and be good, be happy, stay safe till I come again with another story to narrate to you. Thank you so much for listening to the story and for all the love that you have for Ammu. Ammu really loves all of you. Bye-bye.